So first off, let me say this, right? You see the thumbnail. You see what the thumbnail says. Short, brief statement, straight to the point. It's time. It is just time for the change. It's time for the changes, plural. Obviously the loss is still fresh. And in a game where the Chiefs did not even look magnificent, it felt like the game was out of reach, even when it was only a 3-point game. There was not one point in this game where I felt like the New York Giants had a chance to win. Why? And that's where the problem lies. You pretty much snuffed out all hope. Because even when teams play bad, the New York Giants find new ways to be worse than the team that they're playing. There is no reason why the New York Giants couldn't put up points against the Kansas City Chiefs. There's no reason why Malik Neighbors didn't get a catch until the third quarter. After seeing what this team could do against the Dallas Cowboys, and maybe that was the facade. Maybe the Dallas Cowboys defense is so bad, and we got more evidence of that today in that Chicago Bears game. Maybe they're just so bad, that defense is so bad that it gave us a little bit of false hope. Maybe not everybody but me, and I apologize for me being the optimistic person that I am, the optimistic Giants fan that I am, quote unquote, Giants homer fan that I am. I apologize for spreading that positivity. I don't regret spreading the positivity because, again, how I feel at the time is how I feel at the time. Is never fake. There was some confidence there. There were some expectations there. And here we are, only 3 weeks into the season, 3 games into the season. And it really does feel like everything is lost. Winnable game after winnable game. We can't put a complete game together. Consistently inconsistent. Whether the defense is giving up plays or the offense is giving the ball back to the defense of the other team. Turnovers. That was especially the story of tonight. Everybody looks lost. The scheme looks lost. The coaching staff look lost. The players look lost. Just a bunch of bad, just bad stuff. Bad product. Home opener for the 2025 season after a 2024 season, the 100th year of the New York Giants. After putting a stinker out at home last year, you turn around and you let despair creep back into that stadium. Once the boos started to happen, there was no way you were going to stop the boos. That's the crazy thing about it. That wasn't just boos from tonight's performance. That's not what it was. That was boos stemming from year after year after year of seeing the same thing happen over and over again. No matter the regime, whether it was Pat Shermer, whether it was McAdoo, whether it was Pat Shermer, whether it was Joe Judge, and now it's Brian Daboll and Joe Shane. We have seen this movie before, and we know how it ends. And until real changes happen, and until we stop throwing scapegoats out there, we're not going to see real changes. And the crazy thing about this is this. Throughout all those regimes that I just named outside of McAdoo, but Shermer, Judge, and now Brian Daboll, I thought the common denominator was Daniel Jones, labeled the coach killer. But as soon as Daniel Jones get out of here, and again, we're only talking about a 3-game sample size for Daniel Jones, but Daniel Jones is not the only person being successful outside of the New York Giants. Daniel Jones looks better. We already knew Xavier McKinney was good, but he even looks better on a better team that's better coached, even though they just lost today. Ben Bredeson is starting for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at center, and he looks better. Sterling Shepard is still making plays. So please tell me what the real problem is for the New York Giants, because I only have one idea in my mind right now. And that idea starts with not just the obvious thing, not just saying Brian Dable or Joe Shane. The obvious thing is it starts from the top down. It starts at the feet of John Mara. John Mara told us last year that he was tired of seeing offenses move the ball up and down the field on this defense. And what did the New York Giants do? Nothing. They kept Shane Bowen. Week 1, week 2, week 3, even though the defense is not even the worst part of this team. The defense holds it together for the most part. The defense was pretty good tonight. But even they have certain occasions where it just breaks because they're getting nothing from the offense. If the offense was more productive, maybe the defense will be able to feed off of that, but they can't. Why? Because everybody looks terrible. And when everybody looks terrible, the only finger that you can really and truly point at when it comes to the play on the field is the coaching staff. And that starts with Brian Dable. It starts with Mike Kafka. It starts with Shane Bowen. And the bad thing about it is nobody is surprised. The fan base is not surprised. Sports media is not surprised. Last week was a facade. Last week was a fraud. Last year was probably one of the best performances from Russell Wilson, and they even stole that away from Russell Wilson. But what happened? Did we take that momentum that the offense had last week and go into this week with that? No, we didn't. Instead, we played scared. The coaches coached scared. They didn't even want to try anything at all against Steve Spagnuolo's defense. Before they even stepped on the field, they were scared of the boogeyman. They were scared of the boogeyman, Patrick Mahomes, even though they have done nothing this year. The Chiefs have been struggling all year. They couldn't run the ball. Patrick Mahomes didn't look like Patrick Mahomes of old. Had issues throwing the ball. Not really, but guess what? I put out a video. I said, don't be the get-right game for the Chiefs. But guess what? We weren't really the get-right game for the Chiefs because, again, they look bad too. But they made enough plays when it counted and ended up with the win. And we're sitting here at 0-3 now. And the worst part about being 0-3 is knowing that you don't know when your next win is coming. Some other teams circle games and say this might be the get-right game. I saw the way the Saints look today. The Saints are absolutely awful. But I can't even say with confidence right now that we can beat the Saints or we should beat the Saints, because I don't know what to expect from the New York Giants. And that's the part that sucks the most. It's not even about week after week. I know it's only been 3 weeks. It's about year over year. Regime over regime. And how we haven't had a good regime since Tom Coughlin. I saw the fans boo while the New York Giants still had a chance to score in the red zone. I saw route concepts in the red zone that did not make any sense. I saw on a 4th and goal, Russell Wilson have nobody to throw to, and he threw it to the crossbar in the end zone. I saw Russell Wilson throw deep shots, prayers in the air that got intercepted today. I saw Malik Neighbors go a whole half without a reception. I think he had 2 catches on the game. 2 catches on the game. And then you bring in Jackson Dart. And what do you do with Jackson Dart? The same formation, the same RPO that we've seen for 2 weeks now. Everybody knows what's happening. Either the running back is going to get it or the quarterback is going to keep it. And it really doesn't matter because you give the defense nothing to think about. This whole game, we gave that defense nothing to think about, nothing to fear, nothing to worry about. We didn't even give them anything to react to. All the motion in the world, whether it's Malik Neighbors in motion, the tight end in motion, Wan'Dale Robinson in motion. Go ahead and empty backfield, sending the running back out wide. They're not reacting to anything that we're doing because we're not successful. Let me say something to you guys. How can a defense fear a play when we can't even get through the play? We don't put anything good on tape for teams to study because the play is over before the play even starts. Whether it's the offensive line giving it up or Russell Wilson looking like a deer in headlights. The only thing that can save the New York Giants, not save the coaches, save the New York Giants or give the fan base a little bit of hope, is inserting Jackson Dart. Pause. But when you really think about it, the scheme is so bad. The concepts are so bad. The situational awareness and the incompetency of this offense, is it really the best thing to do is throw Jackson Dart out there because we think that he's going to give us a spark. Russell Wilson threw for 450 yards last week and 3 touchdowns. And that didn't give us a spark going into the next week. So how am I expecting Jackson Dart to give us a spark when all we've seen is a preseason playing against vanilla defenses and then a handful of RPOs? And I hope I'm absolutely wrong. I hope that somehow Jackson Dart's able to put it together and everybody feeds off of the energy, but I don't know how much that I can trust myself. All the benefit of the doubt is out the window. All of it. You got to show me everything. I don't believe anything you tell me. If you gave me the lunch schedule for the New York Giants, if you told me that was going to be pot roast on Wednesday, I don't believe you until I see pot roast on your plate on Wednesday. That's how much I don't trust the Giants organization as a whole right now. You got fans spending their hard-earned money going to these games, paying for parking, paying for the concessions, and this is the product that they're being served. No, thank you. No, thank you. I wouldn't be surprised if a plane flies over MetLife next week with a banner saying Mr. Mara is still not fixed. Mr. Mara, do something. It should say, Mr. Mara, guess what? You're fired. Sell the team. Maybe that will trigger some type of reaction when the fans start saying, you know what? I don't care about Dable anymore, even though I know that Dable is the problem. I don't care about Mike Kafka or Shane Bowen anymore, because no matter who the regime is, we still have the same problems. And if I really can't pinpoint it on the coaches or on the general managers, guess who's next? The person that runs the show. And who runs the show ultimately? John Mara. I hear people saying that John Mara should sell the team. They're not going to sell the team. The New York Giants are the Maras. The New York Giants, well, not the Titches actually got other businesses happening. They actually make money in different places. But for the Maras, their bread and butter is the New York Giants. They're not selling. They're not selling. But maybe somebody should step down and let the next generation take over. And hopefully the next generation can do better. Because right now, I'm hearing a lot of hot air. I'm seeing coaches at the podium talking about got to watch the tape and we had a good week of practice and we prepared well. We got to do better than that. I'm seeing players saying the same thing. I don't know what's happening. We got to get things together. We got to grow up. I'm not seeing the changes though. And that's a problem for me, and that's a problem for a lot of the fans out there. So to me, it's time for wholesale changes, and it's crazy for me to say that in week 3 of the season. But again, this loss is fresh. The game is playing back in my mind. And just like in week 1, the 8-point lead seemed like it was an impossible mission. Today, a 3-point lead felt like an impossible mission. And for a NFL football with the type of history that the New York Giants have is flat out shameful, disheartening, and every other negative that you want to put out there. How do you feel, Giants fans? How do you feel about what you just saw tonight, depending on when you're watching it, yesterday, last night? How do you feel about it? I'm not happy at all. I'm not satisfied at all. I'm feeling disrespected as a fan. I feel like we all deserve better than this, and we should have better than this. Because when I look at this roster on paper, I still feel confident in the roster. But going back to what Lombardi said a couple years ago, the Giants have a bunch of players, but they don't have a team. We have a collection of good talent, but we do not have a good team, and that's the bottom line. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say, and hopefully you're just as mad as I am. I can't wait to go back and see what the other content creators are saying. I can't wait to see what Carl Banks is saying, because at the end of the day, nobody is happy. But at the end of the day, also, somebody has to be the right person, grow a pair, and make some damn changes. Because until we make the changes, and the right changes, and who knows what the right change, what does that even mean at the end of the day? But something has to change, or it's just going to be the same thing over and over and over again, and that's how it feels. And I'm sorry that I have to feel this way. It is what it is. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. I don't know where we go from here. I really don't. Let's go.